El exec, el exec, el exec. El Velez, el Velez, el Velez. El fenómeno que todos quieren ser. El chamaquito que no pueden entender.
How we doing, guys? Welcome to the Exec Talk podcast. I am your host, Velez. Wassa. God bless you guys. I know it's been a while. It's gonna be a long one today. We're gonna go through all the way from Celtics Knicks game 3 all the way to game 6 of the Knicks Celtics series, and today we have a game 7 winner take all Denver at OKC with massive injury update that just came this morning. Aaron Gordon will be out at least a month with a grade 2 hamstring strain that he suffered in game 6. That, to me, tilts the balance of power. I was going to give it to the Denver Nuggets because of the experience. However, without Aaron Gordon, his defense, his rebounding, his elite clutch shot making in the biggest moments, at least this playoffs, I just don't see how they can pull it out unless Jamal has a virtuoso 40 along with a Jokic 40-point triple-double, with Christian Braun pitching in, Russell Westbrook, who's going to take his spot. It was only a 6 to 7 man rotation, and he really didn't come out that much. I would assume somebody like Julian Strawther or DeAndre Jordan would take his place. It's either shooting or defense with rebounding that you're looking for there. MPJ would have to have a gigantic game to offset that loss. So it's looking like an uphill battle for Denver in Game 7 on the road here at 3:30. But we start with, before we get to the games, we have to congratulate the Mavericks. They have officially captured the flag. That means they got the number 1 pick, which will be Cooper Flag for sure. That is already over and done with. When we get to the NBA draft, they had a 1.8% chance to get that number 1 pick, and they got it after trading away Luka. People say it was kind of like a here you go from the NBA and Adam Silver to Nico for trading Luka to LA. But I just see it as, water finding its level. I think that Cooper Flag, Kyrie, and AD will be a great trio, along with Klay Thompson and Derek Lively with Gafford. However, there are some rumors. I don't think they're true, but there are some rumors that they might package Cooper Flag and send them to the Bucks for Giannis. I wouldn't do that, although that would match the timeline of a Kyrie and of a AD. I would not do that, considering that Cooper Flag will be another billion-dollar type of athlete that you're bringing into the to the organization for 10 to 15 years. He is already very, very developed in everything that is blocking. He has to develop a little bit more of a shot, but he can shoot, he can drive, he can pass, he rebounds, he fills the stat sheet on all 5 phases of the game, as well as he is still growing and learning. I believe that by year 4, he will be an all-star, if not multiple-time all-star. I think next year he immediately contributes on the defensive end. I think he starts. I believe it'll be something like Kyrie, Klay, Cooper, AD, Derek Lively, something of that nature. And I can definitely see Dallas being a force to be reckoned with next season. As for the Spurs, they got the 2nd pick, so they just come off a back-to-back Rookie of the Years in Victor Wembanyama and Stephon Castle. Probably going to take Ace Bailey or Harper. So they get another piece. They are also a team that are rumored to be able to trade for Giannis, something like package a Devin Vassell or a Keldon Johnson type even a Stephon Castle to go get Giannis, pair him up with Wemby and Chris Paul and De'Aaron Fox. I don't think that would be wise. I think that keeping that core, I think Stephon Castle is going to be a great pro, if not an all-star, here coming up soon. He has a potential to be a superstar, in my opinion, if he just gets the shot right. He just has the game. He has the swag. He has the mentality with De'Aaron Fox and Victor Wembanyama, so I don't see that happening either. All the teams that tanked are outside the top 3, 4, 5, 6, Wizards, Jazz. They're all outside of the top 3. So basically tanking didn't work, which is what the NBA wants. They want you to fight for everything you got till the end of the season, if you're not playing for anything, because a 14% chance to get the number 1 pick can also backfire. But yeah, shout out to Nico Harrison, Dallas Mavericks, for basically saving their PR. And Nico gets a little bit of heat off his neck now. If he trades Cooper Flag for Giannis, that's another heat bomb waiting, because you would have traded 2 generational talents in the same season, especially one being 25 and the other one being 18. So we shall see how that goes. Anyways, game 3 of the Celtics and Knicks. The Celtics just dominate. They drop 23s. The Knicks they shoot horrible from 3. Brunson goes 9 for 21. Knicks 17% from 3 in the first half. At the game actually. Shots went down for the Celtics. The game was basically over by the second quarter. It was a 25-plus point lead, basically for the rest of the game from the second quarter, from being up 20 late in the second. But was this things of signs to come? No, this was not things of signs to come, as we will see later as we go through it. There was a giant injury to Jason Tatum. We'll talk about that. But what I saw from the Celtics, even in this game, is just like it's living and dying by the 3. As we all know, at this point, they died by the 3, even in the last game. But, do they have what it takes next year? We shall see. I think Kristaps Porzingis is gone. I think a guy like Luke Cornett, who we're going to talk about in a little bit in Game 5, I think he is gone. He's a free agent. He's earned himself some money. So this team's going to definitely look different, possibly Drew Holiday. Maybe they try to go get younger. Al Horford might retire. So a lot of things to go down with the Celtics. So Game 3, they dropped 23s. Then the Knicks in Game 4 in New York, they come from down 14 in the third to up 3 at the start of the fourth, and then basically handled business from then on. This is the game that Jason Tatum, with 3:08 left, tore his right Achilles. On a non-contact play, he passed the ball to Jaylen Brown going into the lane. Jaylen Brown lost the handle. When Jason Tatum went to plant his foot to try to go after the ball, the Achilles gave out. He was writhing in pain, spinning on the floor, screaming, got wheelchaired out into the locker room. Really, really sad sight for one of the brightest superstars in this league, although I don't particularly like his game, especially since he hasn't learned that he cannot shoot the 3, and that he is 6'9", that he can go into the rim. He was having an incredible game, 42 points, really efficient from the field, over 50%, over 40% from the 3. And he was the only person keeping the Boston Celtics alive. Nobody came with him except Derek White in the first half. But Jalen Brunson dropped 38 as the Boston Celtics close out, as the Knicks, close out the Boston Celtics to take a commanding 3-1 series lead going back to Boston for Game 5. You know, the Knicks, what they've shown me in these playoffs is really like if you have rebounding, especially offensive rebounding, everybody going after the ball, everybody locked in defensively. OG Anunoby, Mikal Bridges, who was incredible this game in the fourth quarter. You know, you have a shot to beat teams that seem like they have more offensive and power and talent. The Knicks are a very physical team, as we've seen throughout these playoffs. The most physical teams are usually the ones that thrive. With the Wolves, in some cases, the Pacers. Denver, OKC. They're the ones that really have thrived under the physicality nature of these playoffs, and it's been great to see. It's been absolutely great to see. And then, so you think that you go into Game 5, 3-1, what happens? Well, Celtics then dominate Game 5 with, let me see here. 2-1. Yeah, so they go to Game 5 in Boston, 3-1, and then Boston survives in Game 5 as Brunson fouls out in the third quarter. It was really not really a close game per se. They got destroyed in the second half. White had an incredible defensive game. Luke Cornett had 7 blocks. They won by 25 points. It was tied at 59 at halftime. But in the second half, the Knicks just struggled from the field. And Boston got in the bonus with 9 minutes to go in the third. And it was just fouls galore. Really weird that Jalen Brunson got 5 fouls in the third quarter and fouled out. I don't know how that happens, especially playing the physical kind of basketball that we're playing. I thought that there were fouls not called on the other end. But, New York knew that they were up 3-1. They knew that they couldn't get back. So they get 34 from White. They get, I believe, 28 from Brown with 12 assists, his career playoff high. And they get a win at home, right? You think like, oh, now people are talking like Boston. Oh, what if this no Jason Tatum lineup? They've always been kind of better. Now they're 10-2 without him. But what people didn't understand is that the Knicks could adjust. The Knicks could be like, okay, you're gonna pass the ball more, you're gonna move around more. Well, we're gonna play more one-on-one, and we're gonna switch everything. And that's exactly what happened in Game 6. And it was an absolute destruction in Game 6. I mean, they murdered the Celtics. The lead ballooning to 41 in the third quarter. The defending champs got sent home in 6 in dominant fashion. They died by taking threes, and of course the injury to Jason Tatum. KP didn't play to his standard as well. I think he's gone. He was sick. He possibly maybe had mono or something like that. He just has a debilitating respiratory illness since like March or like February. That's just been bothering him. He didn't give him anything. Luke Cornett started this game. And then for the 7th year in a row, the defending champ goes out in the second round. It just shows the parity of the league at this time. The Knicks destroy them on the boards. They play incredible defense, abysmal three-point shooting from the Boston Celtics and from the field, as the Knicks also had 6 players in double figures and extremely efficient. And for the first time in 25 years, the New York Knicks go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Not talking too much about this game because it was an absolute massacre. I mean, it was tied, and then it got to 41 in the third. It's like, just, to be, actually, it was not tied. I think it was a 20-point lead, I want to say, at halftime. Hold up. I'll tell you guys right now. Yeah. No, it's 3-2. Right. Yeah, 119-81, just complete destruction. Horford only had 10 points. Brown had only 20 points. He fouled out in the third quarter as well, just like Brunson did the last game. Bridges with 22. OG with 23. Really good game from OG, actually, 23 and 9. You had 21 and 12 from Cat. He played aggressive and downhill. Jalen Brunson, 23 and 6. Didn't really need him that much. Just there. And then Miles McBride, Deuce, he came off the bench with 10. They only shot 36% from 3, but they shot 46% from the field, as the Celtics 30% from 3, 36% from the field, just absolutely abysmal. Just couldn't do nothing, and that's it. That they go home. It's as simple as that. Then we have the Wolves and Thunder. Wolves take 3. Yeah, so the Wolves and Golden State, right? So you get a great game from JK and Jimmy Butler, but it's just not enough. Randle comes out, he scores 24. You have Anthony Ant with 36. Most of them in the second half. A lot of them in the second. I think 28 of those in the second half. Let me see. I'll tell you guys right now. Yeah, you get 36 from Ant, but 28 of them in the second half, with 5 threes. It was 82-84 Wolves. That was the finishing score, I believe. No, it was 102-97. And then the Wolves finished. It was 82-84. And then the Wolves finished on a big run, playing great rim protection with Rudy. Jimmy had 33. JK, Jonathan Kuminga, had 30. But it wasn't enough. It's just it was a must-win. It was really a must-win. But they just couldn't do it. They couldn't close it out. They had a lead and then just couldn't force it out. It was just JK and JB. Nobody came along with them, unfortunately. You had Green with 2 points. Trace Jackson Davis was 7. Buddy Hield had 14. You needed a couple more from him. Kuminga 30 off the bench. He did his thing. 3 of 4 from 3. 11 of 18 from the field. This just Golden State just didn't have enough. And that's what we saw this whole series. Like you're gonna see in game, as when we talk about game 4, they just did not. Game 5. Excuse me, because this is game 3. Game 4. Game 4, they take 2. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about game 4, and they same thing. They had a lead, and then they just could not keep it. And it was in game 4 was the Julius Randle game. That game was incredible from Julius Randle. He's been playing great. He's shut down all the doubters that he's had over the years since he was in the Knicks and LA about he's not being a playoff performer. He's being a playoff dropper and stuff like that. These playoffs with Ant, man. Julius Randle, 31 points, 4 of 8 from 3, 11 of 21 from the field. Ant had 30, 11 of 21, 6 for 11 from the field. Again, in the second half, Ant is when he takes over. He likes, he's got 35 and 5. He likes dishing it out. He likes rebounding. And then once it gets to the late third quarter, if the game's close or even if it's not close, he will start attacking, and he usually gets to his spot. 117, 110. They got 14 from Draymond Green, but you get 14 from Jimmy Butler in a must-win game 4 to at least give Steph a chance to come back. You lose on a 14.3 field goal attempt night from Jimmy Butler. He goes 5 for 9, 0 for 1 from 3. You have Kuminga with 23, so he shows up. Buddy Hield with 13. Pajinski with 11. Just Jimmy could not show up. They would lose. They lost by 7. If Jimmy would have had a 30-point game, they would have won. But Timberwolves shoot 47% from 3, 49% from the field, as the Warriors struggle from 3 at 30% and shoot 44% from the field. And this was really the series at this point. Once it got to 3-1, there was really no shot for the Warriors to really come back, especially going to Minnesota. Game 4, 121-110. Again, another great game. I mean, Pajinski gave you 28, but Jimmy, only 11 shot attempts, 17 points, 0 of 3 from 3. 10 from Green, 1 of 6 from 3. You get 26 from Kuminga. Like, you people showing up, but Jimmy just was not aggressive enough. Definitely a Robin at this point in his career. Just can't take it to that level, or doesn't understand that he has to bring that type of aggression. As for the Wolves, you get 29, 8 and 5 from Julius Randle. 13 of 18 from the field, 2 of 6 from 3. You get 22 from Ant. Really didn't need him, though. 5 of 9, 8 of 15 from the field. Pretty efficient with 12 assists, his playoff career high. You get 13 from DiVincenzo off the bench, shooting 42% from 3, 63% from the field. Just an absolutely efficient killer night for the Timberwolves in a closeout game at home. 28% three-point shooting for the Warriors. 43% from the field. Just didn't get it enough. Do I believe that there's one more run in this Warriors team with Curry? Yes. I believe they would have had a chance, a very high chance of winning this series if Curry was here. And if they would have won this series, I would have gave them a good chance against the next series as well. I just think Steph is just a force, triple, quadruple multiplier. Even at this age, all these games would have been won by Steph. This is an 11-point game. Game 4 was a 7-point game. Those are all games that if you get 30 points from Steph, those are easy wins. So, I believe that this Warriors team will come back next year. They have to get another wing. They have to get a big man. Not necessarily an all-time big man, but somebody that has size, can rim protect. Doesn't need to be a shooter, but can set good screens, kind of like a Zaza Pachulia did once upon a time. Andrew Bogut back in 2015. Somebody like that to have, because I think Kayvon Looney's just not enough. And unless Trace Jackson Davis develops over the summer and really comes back with a vengeance in the inside and takes that starting spot at his size, I don't see how they cannot make a move and go get something. So I think that's going to be, I think they still have a shot. Jimmy, him, Draymond with another year of pods. Kuminga's going to get traded, try to get a piece for him. Hopefully a defensive wing to add to Jimmy and Draymond. And that will be what they can show up with next year to try to go after that 5th title for Steph and Steve Kerr and Draymond of this team. All right. So that Golden State out of here. Celtics out of here. Next is Pacers game 4. So Pacers game 4 was an absolute massacre, 129-109. Listen, man, this has been actually an absolute massacre of a series. I seen it once I saw how much ball movement the Pacers have, shot making with Halliburton, Obi Toppin, Naismith, Nembhard, Miles Turner can come in and give you McConnell. They just have a deep team, play the right way, play at a pace that really people can't keep up. In this game, Mobley only gave you 10. You had 21 from Garland. You only had Mitchell with 12, 3 of 11, 1 of 5 because he got hurt his ankle and didn't return. They shot 40% from three, 43% from the field, but it just wasn't enough because Siakam gave him 21, Naismith 12, 20 from Miles Turner, Nembhard with 7, Halliburton with 11. It didn't need that much, but Obi Toppin off the bench 20, TJ McConnell off the bench 13, Shepherd off the bench 14. Like, just shooting 43% from three, 53% from the field, dominated on the boards. 37-41. Well, actually, the Cleveland Cavaliers got more boards, but the shooting from Pacers just shot them out the building. This game was, I believe, was kind of close. Let me see here. Yeah, it was. Actually, no, it was not close at all. They were up 41 by at halftime. This was the game that was an absolute blowout. Yeah, I mean, the Cavs just didn't come to play. And the Pacers got up by 41 at halftime, pushing the number one, team in the East to the brink at 3-1. The Pacers had 7 players over 10 points. And this was in Indiana. Now we're going back to Cleveland, and it's 3-1. And this is when people started really seeing, like, oh, the Cavs aren't really going to get up from here. It was just a regular season team. They really didn't, even with Evan Mobley's leap and everything, that hurt game, that first game of no Evan Mobley, or the second game with no Evan Mobley, no DeAndre Hunter, and no Darius Garland hurt them. Then they were healthy again. But the Pacers just outran them in every sense of the word. Then we go to Game 5, and the Pacers finish off the Cavs in 5 in a gentleman's sweep, letting a 20-point lead in the second quarter. So the Cavs had a 20-point lead in the second quarter. Pacers walked it down. Once the Pacers took the lead, after being down 6 at halftime, so from a 20-point lead to a 6-point lead at halftime, and then after halftime, Halliburton with 30, Nembhard hit crucial threes down the stretch while the Cavs tried to mount a comeback with Mitchell, but he missed 3 free throws at the end. And then he hit a 3, but he had to hit those 3 free throws in order to tie the game. But he missed those 3 free throws. The Pacers go down the other end and score. He hits a 3. It's a 3-point game, but they can never get back in it. And for the first time since 2013 and 14, the Pacers go to back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals when they were with PG-13 and, Stevenson and Hibbert, that team. The Pacers really, really seem like a team that can go to the finals. I just don't see them beating the West team. I think the West teams are deeper, more talented, can really slow down the game, play the half court, while the Pacers can play the half court with Hallie, of course, but they much rather play off of misses, play in transition, off of turnovers. Their defense has been playing absolutely great. Rick Carlisle has been playing absolutely incredible. Halliburton's playing incredible after getting named the most overrated player in the league. It's incredible what the Pacers are doing. The people slept on them all year. They did make it to the Eastern Conference Finals last year. And with no Halliburton, that they couldn't beat Boston, but now Boston's out of the picture. And now we go to the final people that move on. The Knicks. Oh, no, we talked about the Knicks already. No, we're going to talk about Thunder versus Denver. Okay? So, the Thunder win Game 4 by really just locking down in the fourth quarter. Denver had a 7-point lead in the early fourth quarter. A lot of offensive rebound, a lot of free throws in the fourth. Missed threes by Denver, missed free throws by Jokic and Gordon late. Shea struggled in the first half, but he played a better second half, especially in the fourth. Awful shooting night from three for both teams, but OKC outlast the Nuggets at home to take a 2-2 series tie, going back to OKC. This game was very nip and tuck, just like the series has been. You know, I said that this series was gonna go 7, and it doesn't surprise me that it is going 7. You know, Game 7's today, at 3:30. If we look at the box score, you had 8 from Chet. J-Dub gave you 10. Hardenstein gave you 8, but with 14 rebounds. Huge. Excuse me. Shea gave you 25, 6, and 6, 0 of 5 from 3. But you get Alex Caruso playing an amazing defense and scoring 10. Aaron Wiggins scoring 11. And Cason Wallace playing amazing defense, scoring 11 as well. As they shoot only 24% from 3 and only 36% from the field. And it's a 92-87 game. But, you know, you get 15 from Gordon, 27 and 13 from Jokic. You only get 17 from Jamal, 17 from Christian Brown, and the bench only gives you 8. You know, they shoot 24% from 3, 31% from the field. They get rebounded 55-49. You know, the OKC Thunder, after collapsing in Game 3, they found their way to play in the fourth and to beat the clutcher team in Denver on their home court. So I was thinking, like, oh, maybe they're figuring it out how to play in the fourth. So it's 2-2 tied. Then we go to Game 5. Then we go to Game 5. We go to Game 5. And Thunder pull out Game 5, 112-105, and another fourth quarter close game. As Shea scores 31, Gordon gives you 13, Jokic gives you 44, 15, and 5 in a losing effort, 28 from Murray, but you get Braun with 8, and you get basically nothing from Peyton Watson, Russell Westbrook, and Julian Strawther, 3, 4, and 3. Another abysmal shooting night from 3, 28%, 41% from the field. And then OKC get 14 from Chet, 18 from J-Dub, who hits basically the game-winning 3 in the closing moments to give them the lead and to stay with the lead. Then you get Isaiah Hardenstein with 15. Shea scores 31. Dort with 12. You have Alex Caruso off the bench, another defensive gem, 13. Shooting 41% from 3, 50% from the field. They out-rebounded the Denver. Denver out-rebounded by 6, 49-43. But OKC, again, late in the fourth quarter. If we go to the play-by-play, in the fourth, with 4 minutes left, Denver has the lead after a Jokic made free throw, 96-94. It's 96-96 on a tip by Isaiah Hardenstein. Then Shea makes a layup, 98-96. Then it's back to 98-98 as Jokic ties it. Then Isaiah Hardenstein makes a 1-foot alley-oop. Then Nikola Jokic hits a 6-footer, 100-100. 2 minutes left, 2:02. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander makes a 16-footer. Then Gilgeous-Alexander gets fouled, so it's a 103-100. Nikola Jokic makes a 27-foot 3 on a Sambo shuffle, 103-103. Then Jalen Williams hits the 3 at 119. Once he made that 3, Nuggets full timeout. Michael Porter Jr. misses a 3. Shea makes a 25-foot 3. That's a 6-point lead with 47 seconds left, and that's basically the game as they start fouling back and forth. And that's it, 112-105 to take a 3-2 series lead going back to Denver. But I knew Denver was going to win Game 6. I just felt it. To me, it was they were playing too well. They know how to play at home, especially in crunch time situations. And that's exactly what 119-107. But this is the game that Aaron Gordon tweaked the hamstring, got a grade 2 hamstring pull in the second half. Chet got 19 and 11, but J-Dub only scored 6 on 16 shots. You had Isaiah Hartenstein score 8. You had 32 from Shea, 10 from Lou Dort, 10 from Alex Caruso, and 10 from Cason Wallace. They shot 28% from 3, 47% from the field, got out-rebounded 52-40, so absolutely the boards were a major factor. Aaron Gordon scored 5, again with the hamstring late. Michael Porter Jr. scored 10, but he had some big threes. Nikola Jokic, 29, 14, and 8 on 14 shots, really efficient. Jamal Murray, 25, 8, and 7 on 19 shots. Christian Braun played great, 23 points, 8 of 14 from the field, 3 of 7, 3 of 6 from the 3 with 11 rebounds. Peyton Watson scored 4, Russell Westbrook had 8, and then Julian Strawther, the kid from Gonzaga, the shooter that I knew when they drafted him, he was going to contribute sooner or later. He finally puts him in. And he goes 4 of 8, 3 of 4 from 3, plays great defense in 20 minutes, scores 15 points, and really was the key to that win. 38% from 3, 47% from the field for the Nuggets. As I said, 52-40 on the boards. They just got after it, man. But without Aaron Gordon heading into this Game 7 in OKC, I think I'm leaning more OKC. The line is OKC minus 8.5. I think the line is a little rich to my liking, though. I think this is going to be a little closer even without Aaron Gordon. However, I think that OKC gets it done. I think Shea goes over 30. J-Dub plays a good game. Chet is a big factor. And without Aaron Gordon, who are you going to put in there? Are you going to put a Julian Strawther? Are you going to put a DeAndre Jordan, but the dust off of him? You know, it's going to be very, very interesting who they use to fill that spot. But yeah, guys, that's what we got. Now we have Timberwolves facing either the Denver Nuggets or the Thunder off a 7-game series after the Timberwolves just gentlemen swept the Lakers and the Warriors. So they're going to be rested and they're ready. And then Pacers, Knicks. What a series. Take it back to the 90s to Patrick Ewing versus Reggie Miller. It's going to be a great series. I have the Knicks just because of defensive intensity, intangibles. They're healthy, even though both teams are healthy. Pacers will make this a series. I believe this goes 7. But I have to see the first game because it might go 6 in favor of the Knicks. But I think this series goes 7. You have Hallie. You have Brunson. That's going to be a great matchup. OG versus Pascal Siakam. Another great matchup. Cat versus Miles Turner. Another great matchup. It's going to be the defensive versatility. Who's going to make shots? Who's going to miss shots? The shot-making side is on the Pacers with Nembhard, Naismith, where they're playing Miles Turner. But, you know, with Cat, with Brunson, Hart playing really good lately, and OG Anunoby as the X factor. With Deuce McBride kind of canceling out TJ McConnell off the bench. We shall see how that goes. I got the Knicks in 7, and then I have OKC going to the Western Conference Finals, but I have Minnesota winning that. I just feel like they're a bit more physical. I think Ant is going to show that he's really, truly the number one dude in the NBA. Not player, because that's Jokic, but like the number one like guard in the NBA versus Shea. Shea coming off an MVP, probably going to get announced here in the next couple of days after this game. But I believe in the Timberwolves. I believe in Ant. I believe in Julius Randle, Chris Finch, the way they're playing. I think that they have what it takes. That would set up a Timberwolves-Knicks finals. One team that never won a championship. Another team who hasn't won one since the 1960s. Earl the Pro Monroe and Bernard King, 70, 75, something like that. So that would be great for the NBA. I think Ant could get it done against Brunson. But when we get there, we shall talk about that. All right, guys. I love you guys. Thank you for all the support. God bless you. And I'll leave you all with like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Follow me on all my socials. And I leave you all with the outro.
El exec, el exec, el exec. El Velez, el Velez, el Velez. El fenómeno que todos quieren ser. El chamaquito que no puede